know you're probably asking, what's your purpose in life? So that's a burning question that we all come to at one point in our life, whether it be a midlife crisis, when we're a child, when we're a teen, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to be in life. What do we want to be when we grow up? What is it that we want to be? Do we want to be a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, a psychologist? All these things. But when the big picture is brought to us, we really should say, what does God want me to be? What does He want me to do with my life? What does He want to use my journey for? What does He want to do with me? That is where the question comes. Sometimes it's not an easy question to ask ourselves because, let's face it, sometimes God asks us to do some pretty daring things that are out of our comfort zone, things that we would never want to do physically or mentally, not something we enjoy to do. Sometimes there's things that we just don't want to think about. And the truth is, when we step out of our comfort zone and we do what God is calling us to do, that is when our full potential and our full talents are revealed. They are waiting for us to just discover. God has so much for us with your singing voice and your, if you're a writer and all these things that we can do to use for the glory of God. Our talents of being smart and our talents of being an athlete. All of these things can be used for God's glory and not for this worldly purpose. We can do great things beyond this world. And I know that thinking about me, I'm just this 28-year-old mom of 4 kids, and I had a typical life of the generation that we're in, of parents divorcing and going through a very lost teenage years of never knowing who was a true friend and who was not, and who was loving and who was not, and where I fit in and where I didn't. None of that really matters. I look back and I say, I was chasing dreams and chasing things that weren't real. None of that was real. Those weren't real friendships. Those weren't real loves. It was nothing. It was nothing but what this world wants us to go after. And when we go after what God's telling us to go after, then we find fulfillment, we find passion, we find love. And what I see, and I want others to see, is that your story is worth it. That small story, that large story, your pain, your purpose, it's all together. Your pain is your purpose. Your purpose can be used through your pain. I am finding that out. I was a teen mom. I was a dropout almost of high school, but I got it together. I was a dropout of college. I never kept a job. I never had much faith in God and what He could do for me and what He could do in me. I was looking for love. I had been with more people than you could count in my small amount of years. At 13 through 16, I had been with more people than I was old. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, when all I had to do was open my arms and say, God, I'm here. Take my heart, make it whole, make it clean. And not until later in my life, after having a couple kids out of wedlock and doing things the wrong way and the hard way, really, it's not really, yes, it's wrong and it's not right from wrong, but when I wasn't saved, I didn't see right from wrong. I just seen what seemed right. But it wasn't right. It wasn't right for my heart. It wasn't right for anything. It just made things worse. Everything I did never felt like I was getting anywhere. When I go through this journey and I look back and I say, all these things I had done, they aren't me. That's not who I am, and that's not who God called me to be. But guess what? They happened. It's something I did. It doesn't make me who I am. It is something I did, and it's something that God is going to use me in. As I step into a journey of finally pouring my heart into something that God has led on my heart for many years, always told me that you are going to be an advocate for teen parents, for single parents, for broken people. I never believed it. I had this dream, but never seen it play out. Thought that I would never be worthy. I'm not a great enough Christian. I'm not a great enough person. I still struggle. I still yell at my kids. I still have bad days. I have gotten into nasty arguments with my husband. I have done things wrong in our marriage. I have started things wrong. I have done things wrong in friendships. I have done all these things. So how could I be worthy, Lord, to help in this situation? And God tells me, you may not be worthy, but through my Son, Jesus Christ, you are worthy because of my Son's action to die on the cross, his action of love. Therefore, you are able to show your action of love through Christ in the situation. Go and speak to these people. Be a friend to those that don't have friends. Love, even when you're scared. I am one of the most introverted people that nobody really knows I am. I'm goofy because I'm nervous. I talk a lot because I'm nervous. I'm nervous of what you think of me. I'm nervous of how you're going to react to me. I'm nervous because I just don't think I'm enough for you. But guess what? It doesn't matter if you think I'm great, if you think I'm not, if you think I'm worthy, if you think I'm not. Because God says I am worthy. God says you are worthy. So take that time to open up to a new person, to ask about their life story, to see how they are. Because guess what? If you don't, who will? Who will? We don't know who will. So why not take that opportunity that God has placed before you and be that light? Be that person that God is calling you to be. Look at your story and what situations you have been, no matter how sad or painful they are. God can use them to work together for His good.